its even blocks. Brothers lived across narrow streets from brothers, fathers from sons, and nephews and grandsons. In the narrow alleys, folks would grin at the way they could sometimes see in the awkward way a boy ran or squinted or threw a ball, the reflected image of his grandfather or great-uncle. When a man from South Philly said he knew a fellow from the neighborhood, it meant something more like family than acquaintance. South Philly was Catholic. It was proud and superstitious, pragmatic and devout. The world had changed around South Philly. The jobs that had built it were mostly gone. It cohered like a fine spun rug, its loyalties and affections nipped tougher than the forces that would wear it down. It was a shelter against change, the future. Out Joey's back door, to the east, was a vision of the unforgiving world outside its boundaries, a wasteland, a vast expanse of weedy, trash-piled lots, junkyards, old brick warehouses defaced with graffiti, the discarded remnants of a once thriving port and manufacturing giant. Rusting hulks of old boxcars crouched in forlorn rows alongside the newer cars that occasionally came and went, moving between the fenced-in lots around the trucking yards and dwindling industrial works along the Delaware River waterfront. Over this bleak expanse, the air was tinged gray and tasted of ash. Just behind the row of houses on Joey's block loomed the hulking concrete underside of Interstate 95, which cast a perpetual shadow wider than a city block. When Joe was a little boy, he would leave the comfortable nest of his neighborhood to play in the wasteland. He would pass through the cool shadow of the interstate, with its incessant traffic overhead roaring like an angry god. He would search out clusters of rat holes, pour gasoline down them, and set them on fire. He would leave one hole dry, then sit off a few yards away from it to shoot at the fleeing rats with a bow and arrow. When he was older, he and his friends stealthily passed TV sets from loaded boxcars to waiting arms, and then ran to trade the loot for money to buy grass and beer. For a boy, and then a young man, the wasteland was a haven, a place to escape all the friendly, watching eyes of the neighborhood. It was wild, exciting, and even dangerous. Once older bullies had knocked him around and hung him up by his thumbs. So long as you had your friends to help you down and you could come back every night to your mom and dad, your house, your block, the world outside was mostly a thrill. But now it just loomed. Unlike his old friends, Joey had not outgrown those years. The death of his father, the decline of the shipyards, his growing dependency on the drug, it all conspired to prolong his childhood. Born in a different age, Joey might have lived his life happily along a well-worn path, to work after high school, marriage, children, grandfatherhood, and gone to his eternal rest in Holy Cross Cemetery. But the jobs were gone. Most of Joey's friends had gone to school and learned skills and found work elsewhere. But Joey couldn't adapt. He lacked the patience to sit still in school and to read a book. He had to be moving, doing. That's why he liked working on the docks, where he could learn on his feet, using his hands. Without the work, he was just stuck. Still,